Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Effective Resume Thursday. It is April 20th, 2023. Please note this event is being recorded and is currently live on Facebook. The recording will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel for others to view in the future. By participating in this event, you give consent for your name and picture to appear. Please note that any comments you put in the Zoom chat window will not appear in the recording. For those people on Zoom, if you have any questions throughout the presentation, please just put them in the chat window. As our speaker takes a break, we'll be sure to get those questions answered for you. For those people on Facebook, thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, please just put your questions into the comment field. Monitoring that feed, and we'll be sure to get those questions answered for you. Also, for everybody who's out there, this is a great time to network with everybody else who's on the call. So feel free to put in the chat window your name, contact information, your LinkedIn profile, target companies you're looking for, and see who else on the list, who else you can help along the list. It would be of great benefit to everybody. All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jeff Morse. Back in 2008, I started a website called careerdfw.org, a website to help those unemployed in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. In 2012, I launched a second website, careerusa.org, to help those around the United States. I have written a book called What I've Learned About Your Job Search that you may not know. It is available on Amazon, or if you see me in person, I always have copies with me. Since 2007, I've been facilitating and leading the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group. The group's been around since the late 1990s. I took it over in 2007, and we have a really interesting program tomorrow. And I'll tell you all about that at the end of this session. And since 2017, I've been a member of the practice interview team. Remember, your resume and your LinkedIn profile are not going to get you a job. What they will get you is a phone call. How well you practice your interviewing skills, that's what's going to get you your next job. So if you'd like to schedule a free practice interview or get more information, just go to dallaspitcrew.com, and all the details are there about the free service that they're providing. Well, today our speaker is Rex Saiot. He's a human resource and recruiting staffing manager. Today he's going to talk about beating the automated tracking system, tips and hacks to overcome the ATS bots and AI. So Rex, thank you very much for being with us, and I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. First of all, I want to give well-deserved acclaim to what Jeff does. No one does what Jeff does in the United States. So what he's been doing for years and years and years, yeah, I've noted, I've worked with him on ministry, and again, what he does is fantastic. So let me do this. I'm going to go to share screen so that I can pull up my slide set. Is that can you see my slide set, Jeff?
Yes, we see your PowerPoint with the slides down the side. So if that's
okay. Let me see. How do I take the slides off the side? Hold
on. If you go down to the very bottom of the screen,
yeah,
you'll see a little looks like a little screen over on in the white field. Here, let me highlight it for you.
Okay, is it right here? I think I see it.
It's right here. If you click on that little click right there, it should put it in presentation mode.
Got it. Better?
Well, no, it didn't give it. Do you have dual monitors?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's why you probably need to reselect and share the one with
Okay. Let me see if I can pull this over. No, I can't do that. Hold on. Let me see if I could do this.
That'll work. That's fine.
Okay. Thank you so much. What I'd like to do, since I've got, let's see, we've got a pretty friendly audience. Boy, when did your audience get so good looking, Jeff? I mean, this looks like the red carpet on in Hollywood, all these beautiful people, with all these people on, as their questions come up, let's not wait till the end of the session. Why don't you feed me some of the
Okay.
questions, and between, if I don't know the question, I know that Jeff can expertly answer that question for us. Okay. Again, my name's Rex Saiot. As I was mentioning to Jeff, I am starting a new position as a manager of human resources for talent management, operations, and technology for an organization called Valley Landscaping. We do landscaping work for corporate, commercial, and residents in a place called Christiansburg, Virginia, near the powerful University of Virginia Tech. Okay. But I still like following a lot of Texas teams. I'll be sending this to Jeff. So if anyone would like to see this, please ask him, and I'll get this to you, Jeff, if that's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by something called beating the automated tracking system. There is a mystification, guys, of what the automated tracking system does. And every time that I've read an article, I try to understand, okay, is the article telling you what the technology really does, how it works, and how hard it is to get past that? So I'm going to go over that right now. And again, if anyone has any questions, please raise it, and Jeff will feed it on to me. First bullet: 75% of all resumes that are submitted into an applicant tracking system are not seen by human eyes. Now, what that means, looking at a distribution, just a distribution curve, if 75% of all resumes can't be seen by a candidate, then generally speaking, at least 22.5% of those resumes aren't seen by a person. So about 23% of highly qualified individuals are not seen. Second bullet that we have: out of 1,000 resumes, 43%, and this comes from Amanda Augustine from Top Resume. Out of 1,000 resumes that are submitted, 43% were sent with an incompatible job type. I researched that. What job type are we talking about? Jeff, we're talking about PDF, where PDF, generally speaking, is a well-recognized file type. There are applicant tracking systems that cannot absorb that into their system. Also, what's coming on is Google Docs. Google Docs is now having a tough time getting into the ATS. Then, Rex, what is the best, and we're going to answer some questions along the way. What's the best file type? It still is MS Word. It still is MS Word. Third bullet: 25% of the resumes have content not recognizable in an ATS. Rex, specify that for me. If you've got data in a header, including name, address, phone number, contact information, email, it won't register. Next bullet: 21% of resumes submitted through ATS includes graphics and charts that are unreasonable. So if you put in a text box with your qualifications in it, many ATMs cannot read that text box and will show it blank. Last bullet: more than 95% of the Fortune 500 companies. So if you're applying for Walmart, Target, SpaceX, Google, Facebook, American Airlines, top Fortune 500, 90. As a matter of fact, Jeff, I've got 98.8% use applicant tracking systems. Okay, so that's why we have to get through the automated tracking system to get it to a human to take a look at. The outcomes that I'd like to have for the team today for learning would be, number one, how does the technology work? What format design tips are the best? Let's talk about content so that your resume is friendlier with the applicant tracking system technology, and what's the best hack ways to get by the applicant track or the ATS. What I'm showing the people right now are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Jeff, I'm believing that as much as 70% of all Fortune 500 companies have one of these 6 applicant tracking systems. The number one upcoming, Workday. It's slaughtering the competition. So if you apply, it's probably going to be either Workday, Taleo, or SAP SuccessFactors. Those are the top 3. Of what you see in front of you, I was on the implementation team, Jeff, for SAP SuccessFactors, and I was on the implementation team for Oracle Taleo for Hewlett Packard. So a lot of people, when you read, not to put anyone down, when I read an article, I look very, very carefully at the author. Jen, and I see your wonderful face, so I'm going to pick on you. I see Jen out there. When I read an article about applicant tracking systems, I really take a look at, hey, were they a user? Were they a project manager? Did they get into the application itself to either customize, do requirements analysis, or specifications analysis? And did they use the technology to actually hire? Most writers don't have that. So I think I might have an edge in giving you more information. I'm going to show, and Jeff has seen this numerous times, I'm going to show a demonstration, a very easy demonstration using Monster's applicant tracking system. I use, as a matter of fact, I've used this some time ago, but I have high confidence that Monster still is using this technology. Everyone has heard of keywords. Raise your hand if you haven't heard. Hey, your resume has to have keywords. Raise your hand if you've heard that. What I've not seen with many with many presentations is how many words is enough keywords. What is the volume of keywords that my resume has to have so that it gets noticed by the machine, so that it gets sent to the human being. So I'm going to do a very, very simple demo using Monster's applicant tracking system. When you take a look at this slide, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see how keywords drive resume value ratings, and I'll explain that term for you. Looking at Monster, I'm asking for a parametric search looking at 4 values. What are those 4 values? I'm looking for a sales executive. So I'm telling the applicant tracking system to go in its algorithm and find an individual that submitted their background from Flower Mound. Do you see that? That's the first bullet on the left. The second bullet is that I'm asking for a keyword. Very, very simple. Sales, if you can show that. The third key identifier that I want is that I want to take a look at, Jeff, everyone that's submitted in their background over the last 90 days or 3 months, and I'm looking for a 30-mile radius. So it would be Flower Mound. I think Arlington is within that. Certainly Louisville, Carrollton, the Colony is what I'm looking at. Next slide looks something like this. By the way, this is an actual resume search that I did for one of my companies. I'm showing you the resume that got #1 ranking. Okay, you don't have to take a look at the text. What was I asking for in keyword? Tom, what was I looking for? Sales. That's all I was looking for. When you take a look at this resume, you're taking, you see, and I've highlighted sales, 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 sales. Page 2, sales, 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 sales. Page 3, sales, sales, sales. And guess what, guys? This was the #1 resume that came up from my looking at that parametric search. In looking at this resume, the resume had a total of 2,998 words, total words, keywords hits, 39. In terms of keyword load, what I call keyword loading percentage, 1.3 of the keywords that I submitted in were of the total words used for the resume, with a match score of 7.0%. Guess what? Did I call this person? I called this person. He was exactly what I was looking for. He had the context of what I was looking for. And one of the things that I want to impress upon the team, Jeff, is that, Rex, this looks like a pretty big resume. The answer to that question is yes. This resume was 5 pages long. Rex, I've been in with presentations that say that, hey, it shouldn't be over more than 2 pages. Why are you looking at a resume with 5 pages? Here's first of all, let me say this. Applicant tracking systems are not intuitive. They don't understand concept and meaning. They're relatively stupid machines that just count words. Okay. So I see Lisa on the phone. I'm going to call on people so that they don't get bored. Understand that the applicant tracking system, does the applicant tracking system count the number of pages on your resume? The answer to that is no. They just count one file, Lisa. So it's a situation right now where you can trick the applicant tracking system that has more keywords. Again, the applicant tracking system counts what? Quality or quantity? Quantity is what you're looking for. Rex, in terms of keywords, is there a magic URL for keywords? The answer to that is no. But when you take a look at the position that you're looking for, I can tell you right now, the best keyword that you can take a look at is in the job title. There's a keyword hit that if you're going for a financial analyst position, what's a keyword there? Financial. If you're going for an accountant position, what's the keyword there? Accountant. If you're going for a quality analyst 2, Six Sigma, black belt, what's the keyword there? Quality. Okay. So the more often that you use that term, just like this guy did. Hold on one second. I'm trying to get to my like this guy did. The better match score that you want. Rex, what's the top match score that you can get? 10.0. Using Monster. Using Monster. If you use Taleo, Jeff, they have a 100-point system. So you can get your resume, depending on how the user gives the keyword search that they're looking for, can have anywhere between 0 and 100 in terms of point values. Okay. Any questions there? If not, I'm going to keep on going. Okay. Thank you. Jeff, interrupt me. You guys, I use this in a different application, but I want to show people what I'm looking at in this, what I want people to focus on, guys, is that in the first two, and there are 2 pages of this resume, Jeff, it looks like a weather map, doesn't it? If one takes a look at where the, what I'll call hotspots are on this resume, where are the hotspots? It's on the left side of a resume. Applicant tracking systems are now sophisticated enough to not only count the words of the resume, but where they are located on the resume. That's what I want to show here. Rex, where are, in terms of keyword value, then what you're saying is that if I put a keyword in a different part of my resume, it gets a higher value or rating? The answer to that is yes. They're getting to be that smart nowadays. So my recommendation is that if you have a keyword that you'd like to have, what's a great keyword? Great keyword is your job title. If you're going for a financial analyst position and you've got a financial analyst 2 position in your background, guess what? If that is your first, or I'm sorry, if that is a position that you had in your current or last job, the value of your resume goes up because you've placed it in a more desirable position on the resume. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a, Jane asked a question, that hotspot on the right-hand margin has me scratching my head. Why, you know, out in the white, in the margin on the page on the left, it just seems to be, what are they looking at when they're over there?
When they're looking at over there is education. They're looking for some sort of alignment. Let's say you're a financial analyst, and did Jane pull up this question?
Yeah, it was Jane.
Yeah, Jane, thank you so much for that. When they're looking at that hotspot, generally speaking, and this is the recruiter as well as the technology. What they're looking for is alignment for your degree in education. And most of the time, people put it on the second page, Jane, after their experience.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the
Yeah.
white space, the white space on the right on page 1.
Oh, the white space?
Yeah, yeah, that one.
That one? That,
Maybe
that
they
has,
just needed to rest their
okay.
eyes for a minute.
I borrowed this primarily looking at the analysis done by Ladders, Jane. And for some reason, that particular hotspot was a recruiter hotspot. How it got to white space, I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking that it may have been there because it has to go to page 2. Or someone yelled out donuts and then they looked up. I don't know why that white spot, that hotspot got into a white space page. So as you know, as a recruiter, it befuddled me. The best way that I can say it is I don't, you know, I don't know, and I try to analyze it in my head, and I just can't come up with a coherent answer. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm borrowing from the last on the last resume that I saw because there is application from the technology on the technology side. The technology will hone in more on a proximity on your resume that will give a higher value if you have that keyword in there. And if you take a look at first page, where is the highest value that you have? Left side bullets. So taking a look at geography, number 1, 2, and 3, guys. And what is the technology looking at when you take a look at that? It's looking at job title. So I know that I said this once. I'm going to represent it one more time. If you have an aligning job title with the job posting that you want, if it's senior materials manager and they're looking for a materials manager 4 position, if you can align it to that job title and show that job title regularly on your resume, you will get higher hits or a higher value or a higher rating from the applicant tracking system. Questions on that?
Well, not that, but Carrie asked, how satisfied are employers with hiring people whose main talent is keyword jamming?
You faded out in the last sentence, Jeff. Can you repeat that, please?
How satisfied are employers when hiring people whose main talent is keyword jamming? I think what you have to remember is not necessarily that these people get hired. They still have to go through an interview and they still have to show or be able to explain what they do. If they're keyword jamming, they're just maybe getting that phone call to get that possibility for an interview.
Yeah. Who asked that question?
Carrie.
Carrie, here's the genius that I like about that question. When it comes down to hiring, what people want to hire is experience, skill set, qualifications, competencies. Okay. So if with keyword loading, we're getting past the technology, but it still has to have a human touch and a human eye for that context, and that's where your resume is going to get separated. And as Jeff mentioned, that's where you're going to get the phone call. What the applicant tracking system does not have is context. They don't understand that yet. However, I'm going to predict a day, Jeff, where the specifically AI component or functionality in an applicant tracking system will have at least rudimentary context recognition, and it's coming soon. It's coming soon. So that 75% might get to now 80-85%. We can't stop that AI component. Okay. Any other questions there?
Well, Carrie also asked, is ChatGPT going to replace the ATS system very soon?
I experimented with ChatGPS. The answer is no, and here's why. Technology doesn't hire people. I've yet to know an applicant tracking system that has generated an offer. So even though the technology may become more prevalent, the human eye and human touch still has no substitute. Okay. Here's what we learned with keyword optimization or keyword loading. What we've learned is that keywords matter. Keywords in now the right location manner. The best match for an applicant tracking system is your job title. Here's the downside of that, Jeff. For generic job titles, I'll give one right now: project manager. If you use the term project project manager and you see something that differentiates the project manager on the job description, my recommendation is to try to put that language or differentiator on your resume. I'll give you, Rex, give me an example of that. Let's say the job description is asking for banking. I would say project manager, banking applications, banking files, banking quality, something that really draws the applicant tracking system to that key word. Okay. The first page of your resume is critical. Try to overpopulate keywords like I showed you with the resume. I'm a human resources guy. I try to put the term human resources no less than 7 times on my first page. Does it sound redundant? It does sound redundant. Is it redundant to the applicant tracking system? The answer to that is no. It's giving you value, it's giving you equity, it's giving you ratings that will hopefully get back through or pass through the applicant tracking system so you can get the hiring manager. The second bullet I want to give, I don't like to use the term new normal. I like Jeff using the term next normal. The next normal that I'm seeing, because of we're going past past COVID, guess what? If you could work remote, and by the way, 22% of all positions still on LinkedIn show the term remote. We're not going to get out of hybrid or remote as much in 2023, but corporations now want you back into the office. But if you performed your job remotely, use that term. Use the term mentorship and coaching a lot. Guess what? More organizations are now turning to a culture of coaching. And if you are bilingual, show that, show your bilingual Spanish, bilingual French, bilingual Portuguese, whatever. Okay. Some payoff tips, recommendations, quick fixes. Whenever I put, Tom, on my right underneath my name, I put the job title that I'm looking for, or the job title that the job posting is looking for. If it's a director of human resources, I put that right underneath my job, or my name. If it's human resources manager, I put that underneath my name. If it's human resources business partner, I put that right underneath my name. It now catches a keyword search very early on your resume. If you list anything, do so with bullets. Don't get any fancier than just bullets, because it really, I can't tell you how different it looks like on the applicant tracking system. Just a lot of people use fancy arrows, Jeff, or check marks. Okay, please stay away from those sort of specialized things. Just stay with the bullet. Let's see. My recommendation is to stay with a font that's been around for a while. Arial, New Times Roman are two that I come up with. Stay away from Wingding, Vulcan, any of those fancy ones. And my recommendation for everyone is at least the first half of your resume. Really give a lot of detail for your last or current job on your resume. That gives recent context and skill set that you have. A recommendation that I have is what I call maximize your referral capital. What I mean by that is that I always include even though it's not asked for, Jeff, I'll always include my professional references section. The reason why I do that is that a lot of recruiters will ask for specific companies that might align with what they're looking for. I'll give you an example of that. A lot of recruiters will ask for, in their keyword search, IBM, Accenture, SAS, and will put those companies in a keyword search, and your resume will come up. And by the way, if it comes up, generally speaking, if you have an immediate supervisor on your on that reference section, preferably a senior or C-level referral is a better trusted reference for you to have. Okay.
What location should professional references take? Now, Carrie, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. If you want to unmute your mic and let me know.
Okay. I
Location
usually
on the
put the
page.
professional. Is it the location on the resume, Jeff?
Yes,
Very end.
at the very, very end.
Yeah, at the very, very end. In researching Jeff, yeah, I went to some stuff, and I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit more. I did some research on some articles in preparing for this section, and I thought, hey, let me pick this one. It had a catchy title to it. I included the URL for it, The Good, Bad, and Scary Truth About Applicant Tracking Systems. And I'm going to either debunk or I'm going to reinforce the formatting guidelines. These formatting guidelines came from this article. Okay, I'm going to jump around a little bit just to highlight those things that really kind of really reached out to me, and I thought, hey, that's a good experience. That's a good tip. When you're using work experience and you're listing it on your chronological resume, there are some applicant tracking systems that don't pick up anything anything to the left of the company will not register. Why people would put dates to the left of the company versus to the right of the company, that's just not going to show up. So don't lead with dates. Lead with where you were at the company. My recommendation is to put dates to the right of that, not the left of that. Isn't that weird, Jeff? Some people do that.
I haven't seen a resume that's done that, but I'm sure there's people out there. I'm sure there's formats out there on the web that people are downloading and doing that.
Yeah. On the third bullet, graphics and logos, we go crazy. Applicant tracking systems go crazy on that. Now, what's coming on really strong, Jeff, are people's photos, right? On resumes. That does not pick up in a lot of applicant tracking systems. Okay. So stay away from now graphics, logos, and pictures of yourself. I like this bullet. Place your name on the first line of the document and list credentials on a separate line. Again, I'm going to debunk some of these things. I say put it on the same line. If David Williams is on the line, I would want to see David Williams, CPA. So I'm not 100% on board with all of these things, and I'm going to conflict a little bit with the writer of this. I do like the third from the bottom. Use an intentional file name. So that Gene, if you have a file name and you're going for an IBM position, putting in IBM sales manager doc. Guess what? The applicant tracking system picks up the file name as a keyword. So if you're going for an IBM job, show IBM on how you on the name of your resume. If you're going for SpaceX, put that in, and it will be tracked. Now, a lot of people, Jeff, don't put hold on, cover letters anymore. And here's what I understand. 17% of the recruiters don't read cover letters. I'm sorry, 17% read cover letters. 83% don't read cover letters. Guess what? At Hewlett Packard, we counted keywords on your cover letter. Does that make sense? So
It's
you're
another
rating
opportunity
with,
to score higher because you've got more keywords.
you got more keywords. Exactly. So if you see a situation, and here's the tip, if you can attach your cover letter and you don't have typos, my recommendation is to attach a cover letter, just in the event that the applicant tracking system will rate keywords off that cover letter. Okay.
I've also heard that, so recruiters may not read the cover letter, but the hiring manager may read the cover letter and will probably look at your resume in more detail if it's passed along to them.
Yeah. One more thing on what I like about what Jeff just said is that especially for those jobs that are communication centric, writers, technical writers, editors, and senior executives, I will always get a flavor for writing style influencing off of a cover letter. The thing is, if you miss on your cover letter, I always thought, Jeff, that was more fatal than a resume typo. Okay, so if you add that cover letter, really be very, very smart. I'm at, let's see, hold on, 2:43, and I'm going to conclude in about 7 minutes. Is that okay with you, Jeff?
Yep, that's great.
Okay. I'm seeing much more resume formatting that's out there, guys. Resume formatting has always been a functionality for Word, for example. This is for Victoria Harris. This is not a real person. This is just a sample for Victoria's resume. This sample was used for or from a Word format. Okay. Looks really nice. Eye appeal, strong. But when it gets submitted into an applicant tracking system, this is what it comes out to. This is the before, and this is the after. The moral of the story, don't use the resume formatting templates off of anything. Simplicity is going to get you through the applicant tracking system. I'm going to go over hacks beyond the applicant tracking system. Leveraging submittal timing, increasing resume format appeal, and maximizing network capital. I'm going to use timing here. Timing might not be everything, but it might be the only thing. For the action steps, If you apply on Monday, it increases your hiring chances by 46%. So says TalentWorks. Why is that, Rex? Because when a recruiter comes back from a 2-day weekend, guess where the first place that we generally go to? We go to our applicant tracking system. And there's more likelihood, guys, where we will take a look at those candidates that maybe the machine had rejected, but we take a look at them anyway. So if you get your resume in on a Monday morning or even a Sunday evening, guess what? My behavior as a recruiter will override what the applicant tracking system does. Jeff, this comes from dice.com from Leslie Stevens Halfman. Chances of getting an interview is 5 times higher if you submit the application before 10 a.m. Rex, why is that? Guess what? When we go in on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Locke Alderson is probably going to be on his applicant tracking system, seeing what came in the prior day. The last one I want to really emphasize, because I really believe that's true. If you apply in the first 96 hours, close to 65%, your competitive on average will be increased by 65%. The reason why is that 60% of all candidates will apply within the first week. Guess what, guys? Do I look like an individual that will go into 253 resumes? No, I'm not. I'm really lazy. Guess what? The record that I've seen an application for that was submitted into an applicant tracking system was 571 for a site acquisition specialist for Goodman Networks. Do I look like someone that saw the 571 candidate? I am not. Sorry. Your format, chronological resume, stay away from functional resume unless you're in the military or academics. Stay with fonts that are familiar, Arial, New Times Roman, Calibri, pardon me.
Calibri.
Calibri, thank you
Tech
so
writer
much.
friend.
Thank you. If you have the option, upload your resume. Do you guys see on the applicant tracking system where you can copy your resume and then submit? Don't do that. Take your file, submit your file. But when you submit the file, submit it in a Microsoft Word. Don't submit it in a PDF. Don't submit it in a Google Doc as of yet. Guess who, Jeff, is still taking a look at resumes using Word 10.0? Google. They want to see their applicant tracking system best accepts Word, Microsoft Word 10. I don't know about 7, so try to upgrade it a little bit, guys, okay? Last one, I'm at 2:49, and I'm going to turn it over to Jeff after I do this. Leverage, I'm sorry, I spelled leverage wrong. I'm sorry, I'm a recruiter only, sorry. Let me say, well, action item. If you submit your resume through an internal employee, it gives your background a 2.5 times of a better qualified candidate. What that means is that if the individual knows and trusts Jeff Morris, and Jeff sends your resume in, that recruiter will give you 2.5 times better, a 2.5 times better favorable look than any other candidate. Okay, that is the power of of your network that's talking. What's the moral of that story? The moral of this story is go around, get through, go over, go under the applicant tracking system. Get away from that as much as you can. Get to eyeball, person to person as much as you can. I've talked about professional reference section. Okay, if you have a trusted network with the organization that you are in, which might mean Target, IBM, SpaceX, Federal Express, all of those, get your resume to that individual that you have a network connection with so that they can send it to that HR department. The last two bullets I have in there, I've already gone over as well. It's 2:51. I've completed my slide set. I want to thank people for their patience and the time that you've allowed me to hopefully get you that next job. Jeff, any questions in the?
Yeah, there are a couple questions here. Chandler asked, how can or how should you rectify the keyword by using potential employer versus the actual words used in a title of a previous position? For instance, companies may use the term partner, alliance, and channel, but your previous official title may have used the word alliance.
Okay. So Jeff, is the question the job, the individual's last job had a different keyword in it in their job title?
Yeah,
and
so like
it was
their last job may have been alliance partner, but they're applying for a channel partner position.
I see. What I would do, and I'm in HR, if the individual in good faith, Jeff, and this is Chandler's question. Chandler, in good faith, if you believe that in your position you were really doing a channel partner job and the other company is calling it partner relationship or something like that, I would use the term channel partner or channel manager in there. I know that might be very, very controversial.
No, I appreciate that, but the other corollary to the question is, does it create a problem of inconsistency during the reference check process, assuming you get that far down? Yeah. Where I have represented myself in the resume to bypass the ATS system. I use the word channel, but officially from the employer, my official title used the word partner. And they're going to say, wait a minute, these two don't match, even though they're kind of related. I'm not saying like you can be like in a completely different discipline. That's too much of a stretch. But there's a lot of words that are used very loosely and imprecisely by employers. And if you're talking about the important, and I believe you, the importance of using that keyword in your job titles, that's where I'm looking for guidance on that, and then the reference check later.
I'm gonna even stretch that out, Chandler, to even a different extreme. If anyone is on the call from DOD, guess what job title they're still using, Jeff, for IT? Member of technical staff. Holy cow. That was used in the Cold War in the 1960s. So with Chandler's question, what I would do, Chandler, I would put the position that you're going for, again, in good faith. If you believe that, wait a minute, this channel specialist position is exactly what I was doing, but they called it differently. I would call it channel manager space / space alliance manager. Now,
I-
now, what you need to do is you need to take the opportunity to come clean and be very honest and tell the hiring manager, listen, hiring manager, I just want to make sure that you understand where I was coming from. What I was doing as this alliance manager showed 100% alignment with that channel manager position.
I can give
Okay.
you a great example. My very first job, I got out of college, I was working at the University of Louisville Medical School. My official title was Electronic Audiovisual Tech 1. Well, what I was doing was I was a videographer and an editor. All right, so what I list my official title and then in parentheses put down videographer, comma, editor, so that people would be able to understand that, here's what that is. And I think it's true, there'll be people out there, Rex, I know there's 20 different titles for a human resource director or director of talent acquisition or whatever. So that's why I think it's perfectly fine. Whatever your chief people person title is, that's what you list. And in parentheses, list one or two other job titles that would be similar that most people would call that position.
Yeah. People might, and I think the reason why I really like what Jeff is saying is that don't get constrained by a job title. You can stretch it out to show alignment with a job posting, but be sure that you have the opportunity to be honest with people. And guess what? You get points for being honest. Okay. Anything
We
else,
have another question.
Jeff? I don't want to over budget my time.
Yeah, no, we're good. We have one more question here and then we'll wrap it up. Chick asked, which is best or more effective with best results, a resume or a bio? And should either the resume or bio include a picture of yourself?
Okay, picture, no, don't do that. Because the applicant tracking system, two reasons. The applicant tracking system cannot acquire the photo as of yet. Between bio and resume, did you say Chick asked that question?
Yes.
Okay, Chick, they've been trying to kill a resume for the last 40 years, and guess what? They haven't done it yet. Go with the resume, go with CV, the bio. If I see the bio, oh, let me get it to the hiring manager. If I tell the hiring manager, can I send the individual's bio? They'll say, Rex, what is that? Just send the resume to me. Okay. There still is very, very traditional thinking, even Jeff, with the new managers, the Gen Xers and the Gen Zers, even the Gen Zers are saying, Rex, just send me the resume. I don't need the bio. Okay.
Right. Yes, you do put your picture on a bio. No, you do not put your picture on a resume. What
Right.
would you use a bio for? If you're applying for a job, you're going to send in your resume. If you're just networking and trying to get information and advice from somebody, doing an information interview, send a bio, because it doesn't scream, help me, help me, help me, I'm looking for a job. It's a little bit lower key kind of document.
Yeah. I love that explanation.
All righty. Well, Rex, thank you very much for your time. I don't want to, we're hitting the top of the hour here, so I want to thank everybody. Just a few more slides, we'll get out of here. Career DFW and Career USA, we're putting on training 4 days a week. Tomorrow morning at the North Dallas Plano Career Focus Group, we have a really fascinating presentation, ChatGPT for Job Search Success. Rusty he's actually a tester with the Google Bard system, and he has been looking at ChatGPT and 3.5 and 4.0 for the last couple months, and how to use it in a job search. He'll share what he's found. He'll share a table of he's done the exact same thing for 3 different systems, trying to figure out what works best, what doesn't work. So join us tomorrow morning. Should be a really fascinating presentation out there. Also, if you were not able to see this past Sunday night 60-minute presentation on YouTube, the head of Google was interviewed about Bard, which is the GPT system that they're using, and the AI system they're using. It's a fascinating, like 40-minute presentations, 2 different segments. So if you can't go out to YouTube, look at that. It'll either scare the pants off of you, or you'll be excited about the new possibilities. So, check if you can, check that out. Next Tuesday, Ruth Lipsky will be with us to talk about, for LinkedIn Tuesday, how to drive recruiters to your LinkedIn profile. Next Wednesday, you'll be able to watch a practice interview on Zoom. It'll be on Zoom only. There'll be no Facebook presentation. If you would like to schedule an interview, just go to dallaspitcrew.com. The pit crew is meeting in person. We met yesterday. We meet on the 1st and 3rd Wednesdays in person. 2nd, 4th, and 5th Wednesdays, we're meeting online only. So we're giving everybody options of what they can do. And then next Thursday, we'll have being the 4th Thursday of the month, we'll talk all about networking. We have different speakers every time to talk about their thoughts on networking. This session has been recorded. It will be on the Career DFW Facebook page and the Career USA YouTube channel. On the Career USA YouTube channel, click on playlist. I've got over 480 videos there. But if you click on playlist, it will break it down to one of 7 different playlists. Pick resumes, interviewing, whatever it is you'd like to do. And down when you see that red arrow, click on view full playlist. And then up will come a list of all the different dates and topics. And you can go through, scroll down, and find the one that you're interested in watching. This presentation will be up online. It'll be probably about 2 hours for Google to process, or YouTube to process the video. If you're not receiving emails about our workshops and you'd like to join the Career USA mailing list, just scan the QR code or send an email to Career USA, +, subscribe at groups.io. You'll never be spammed because I control the list. But what you will get on a daily basis is the topic of the day, the title of the day, and most importantly, the Zoom link of the day. That way you can just click on the link and you can join us for our next presentation. Please remember, Career DFW, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. All of our speakers are volunteers. I'm a volunteer. Everything I've done over the last 14+ years has just been to help you land your next great opportunity. So thank you for joining us today, everybody. Rex, once again, thank you very, very much. And we will see everybody next time.